Hey, have you ever wanted to scam grandmas for their credit cards? Well, do I have the game for you? The Mis-Adventures of Ed, and Eddy. It's the ultimate quest to scam the neighborhood kids. And in case you forgot, Ed's the big silly one, Double D is the one with the hat, and then Eddy's the ringleader, so let's rock and roll. Let's see where the adventure begins. Scam number 1, Cul Your Ed. The mission is to make snow cones that flip a hefty profit, but we're gonna need sufficient ice shavings to make this possible. Luckily for us, there's red coolers in the backyards of the neighborhood kids. But watch out! Enemy squirrels infest your body like leeches. They're really hard to get off. Now with 2 ice shavings in the chamber, we encounter a big problem. There's a dog in the way. So I got to thinking, what if we knock out this cat, pick it up, and then throw it at the dog to create a diversion? It worked perfectly. We advance deeper into the neighborhood yards where we run into a "No Ed's Allowed" sign. I wonder what that means. Let me check it out. There's a cooler, but the area's guarded. Ed's sister's on high alert.
I'll tell Mom!
So we must create a distraction by shooting Jimmy's dolls off the clothesline.
Watch those water balloons!
Fine.
Good. He's crying. Now we have to cut through the house, but it's locked. What if we picked up squirrels and threw them in the house? Let's make our way through this house where there's no transitions when passing through doorways. It's like breakneck speed. Now finally we encounter Rolf at his farm, and he has a meatball machine that's perfect for creating the balls we need. Unfortunately, he's not about it.
Be gone!
So it's scamming time. Using Ed as a battering ram will release his pigs, so he has no other option than to ask us for help.
Help me!
So he threw his pigs back in. And he allowed us to go in his shed where the meatball machine resides.
We're gonna be rich, I tell ya!
Before we start Scam 2, are you subscribed yet? I have many things to offer you. Back in the Cul De Sac, where this manhole awaits us, for Scam number 2, pin the tail on the Ed. Jimmy's having a birthday bash, and we're forbidden from enjoying it. We must infiltrate, and our only option is through the stinky sewers. It's nasty down here, and dangerous. Enemy rats are patrolling the area. They aren't too hard to destroy, but the gators are a whole different story. Kinda like when you read Twilight, and then just start reading something else.
V5 pull farmer.
We're making good time down here. That until we run into our first problem. The door is locked, and the valve needed to open it is missing.
Well, find it!
Now Johnny, who is down here for some reason, is fishing it out of the water.
May I see that valve for a moment?
We asked for it, but Plank says no. Unless, of course, you lower the water level so I can get some clams. That shouldn't be too hard, just gotta spin some valves until the water is completely drained. But that's not enough, so we take Plank for ransom until a deal is made.
No! Plank!
They give us the valve, and once through the door, we make our way up this ramp and into the party. Time to wreak havoc by destroying 3 piñatas.
Those are my piñatas!
And there's women in this one. The Canker sisters are here to throw their love at us. This would now be considered sexual harassment and a cancelable offense, but we'll let it slide. Luckily, there's beehives and refrigerators we can drop on them to complete the birthday scam. But the party's already over, and Jimmy gives us some leftover icing as a treat. I have acquired an apple. Let's head on into the playground and see what our next scam will be. Must be something I Ed. Word on the street is the candy store's giving out free jawbreakers, but the store is closing, so we gotta get moving. Eddy knows a shortcut, but it won't be easy. We're stuck in this yard with no way out. Unless, of course, we ram this workbench into a thin ramp, and then do the Eddy stack to cross into the next yard, where Jimmy and Ed's sister are located. Jimmy's all up in arms because some birds swooped down and put his dolls in the tree. It's a good thing we can stack up to retrieve items in higher elevation, and then put them in the sandbox so he's happy again. It's a very simple strategy, but like an old person in a wheelchair being pushed down a hill, we can't slow down. So we move ahead full speed through the woods until we run into another problem.
If it isn't dork, dork, and dorky.
Shovel chin!
Kevin's blocking the path, and he's like, I won't let you pass until you take these basketballs and knock over the trash cans in a short period of time. So we use Ed's ability to pick things up and toss them, to pick things up and toss them. Moving into the junkyard, and there's a lot of bees.
Bees!
And we need Johnny's honey as a distraction.
Hand over the honey!
No way!
They killed Johnny, but that's the least of our worries. We gotta sneak past this dog to finally reach that candy store. Let's get it. Let's enter. Now, Eddy eats what he thinks is a jawbreaker, but it's just foot powder, and he becomes infected.
You're having an allergic reaction, Eddy.
Anyway, we can't let the neighborhood kids see Eddy in this condition, so we'll need to use various types of sneaking as we make our way back to his house. The classic cardboard box. The Eddy stack behind poles to evade Johnny. That's not even sneaky. The school bell diversion. A classic. Now Jimmy is painting. And finally, by taking cover behind this self-driving tractor, Kevin won't suspect a thing. The scam is complete, although I don't know how we benefited from it. They found us anyway. Why don't we head on over to see what Rolf is up to? Scam 4, Ed on arrival. We're going for the Mark of Manhood, the Urban Ranger badge, that is given to anyone tough enough to traverse the treacherous trail of whatever Rolf said. This is where things get funky, wild, and crazy. There's a lot of hazardous obstacles to overcome, so I was shaken. There's also cool challenges to complete, like whack-a-mole with Jimmy's head.
Hey.
Or even a power tower that needs powered because there's no more power to power it. So we collect 4 different colored batteries and put them in the power tower. Once that's dealt with, we go head-to-head with Rolf's goat, Victor.
Oh, get them, Victor!
And you thought that was something. Now Kevin is challenging us to a final race. Winner gets the badge.
We'll be waiting for you at the finish line.
This required a lot of focus. Ed has some pretty good handling, but the path is still very treacherous, so we gotta watch out. But in the end, like Santa leaving someone's chimney, we came out on top. But like before, we kinda ended up with nothing. Our journey continues down the dirt road and up to this spooky green-lit haunted house. For Scam 5, Nightmare on Ed Street.
Mr. Yum Yum! Mr. Yum Yum!
Mr. Yum Yum is locked up in the old abandoned house. We put it there, but we'll get it back. For a quarter, it's a classic scam. We get inside and we are immediately locked in. He didn't even try to turn the handle.
The house is haunted.
Could it be the ghosts? No, it's just sexual harassment again.
No.
Now to get Jimmy's doll back from the Canker sisters, we're gonna have to give them good boyfriend presents. These include, but not limited to, a ship and a bottle for Lee. Simple enough, we grab a trophy off the mantle and then move it to a new mantle, a classic haunted house trope. Then the billiard starts shaking, and out comes the bottle. Now we'll need a can of axle grease for Marie. We must first activate a secret bookshelf that leads us into the caves. And then a glitch happened where I trampolined onto this rock, and somehow Ed got up here too, but then Eddie was just jumping, trying to get up there. We then run up the stairs, bust open a secret wall, activate a secret retracting bunk bed, pick up another trophy, transport that trophy in a hazardous style, and then put that trophy on a mantle, a picture frame slides over, and there's the grease.
The grease.
Finally, we'll need a taxidermy book for May, where we take this elevator up to the library.
This lift goes straight up to the library.
We then open up another secret bookshelf that leads to a room with scaffolding, and by using the Eddy stack, we carefully climb our way up to the top. While avoiding swinging obstacles, we grab another trophy, place that one down, and the book pops out. Yay.
Ooh.
Now Ed can disable the saw to save Mr. Yum Yum and complete the 25-cent scam. That failed anyway.
Hey, you owe us a quarter.
Our adventure is coming to an end with scam number 6. Ed marks the spot. We're digging around for the loot box of jawbreakers,
Oh, babies.
but they're all missing. Only thing in here is a piece of a map. You know what this means.
We have to find those pieces.
Our mission is to retrieve the missing map pieces to locate the jawbreaker's stash. First, we must kill dogs. Then push this vehicle to launch Johnny to his death. Map piece number 1 is right there. Let's get it. Further into the wild, and Jimmy is scared.
Hey, don't hurt me!
He also has a piece of the map. Let's kill him. But he won't give it back unless we fetch him a jawbreaker at the end of this treacherous swamp path. It's in a spiderweb, so it's a little sus. The muddy platforms are slippery, and the wooden beams cannot be underestimated. Getting across will be very tricky. So like the multiple families in my basement, I was locked in. Once I got to the jawbreaker, I figured I should speed run back. And you could have called me Butter the way I was on a roll, until a spider almost killed me. But I persevered and made it through.
Here you go, Jimbo. One jawbreaker.
With map piece number 2 secured, we can now open up this gate, leading us into another head-to-head battle with Victor. He's eating the map.
Let's rumble!
With the map now completed, it unfortunately leads to the Canker Sisters trailer.
What are we going to do? We're going in.
So we bust in the door and... Oh no! It's a trap!
Oh, my head.
We're now underground, like Tubman. There's many epic, wild, and crazy timed events and hazardous materials and things going on down here, but we keep on pushing until we reach the final boss fight. The sisters are on a pile of trash, surrounded by electrified water, conducted by these boxes. So while dodging squirrels and some kisses, I use Ed's tossing power to disable the boxes. Once that's done, we become the battering ram to knock down the foundation. The ladies fall down, we take the jawbreakers, but it was all a big ploy for an arranged marriage. So the entire game was pretty much an elaborate scam on us. So much for being top scammers. And that's the freaking game. Holy hell. And that's it for me. If you made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. If you like my costume design, drop a comment. And like always, I appreciate the love and support I get every video. And I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. And that's about it for me. I've been recording for an hour and 30 minutes. It's now 1 in the morning on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. It was -10 degrees today. My toes were cold. That wasn't cool.